Good morning, or maybe it would be the day when you get it. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself, the Saubrey Boys, and Pete, the Man City Man. Yeah, today we are talking so many things, but I must say, well in advance, we have a problem with network. We just got a communique on the internet that internet of many of the service providers, unfortunately, some of them, even my service provider, Fumatel, Afterhost, you name them, they are really struggling with the internet, but they are working on it. So this could be one of the reasons why we start so late. This could also be the reason why sometimes you'll find things a little bit difficult. Greet, Peter, just greet the viewers and then let's
Good,
to what we are going to talk
good
about.
morning, Saubrey. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we are back to winter again, which is what that part of the time or that time that I hate so much. Pete,
Yes, bro.
today we have a big one, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Dortmund.
Dortmund. Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to give us again in terms of the financial reward, okay? Because the issue of the
All
financial reward lead us to the question that we spoke about yesterday. Because there is this guy, Pete Detroit, from Soccer Beat, the founder and editor of Soccer Laduma, asking why can Chiefs and Orlando Pirates follow the model of Al Ahly, Barcelona, Real Madrid, of the team being owned by the public and have an executive running the team. In that way, it gives them financial muscle. Al Ahly can pay whatever that it wants to pay. They compete with the European teams. If they don't want the player to go, they'll make sure that the player won't go. They'll pay. And then Mamelodi Sundowns with these muscles, the money that they are going to get. Now, I don't see them competing with anybody after that because Mutsepe is quite clear that, okay, guys, all the money that we get there from there already have pocketed 208 million rand. All that money goes to the transfers. And then we also hear that Fistel Smaela has already signed with them. So you can imagine, it's going to be very tough to stop Mamelodi Sundowns. We thought we'll stop that thing of them going for 9th and 10th title. It looks like it's not going to stop now. Pete, greet
Yes, sir.
everyone. Maybe you want to start, I don't know where you want to start. We're going to start on the prize money and so on. And then tell us the
All
story.
righty.
How do you evaluate? And also the PS transfers. Okay. Okay, Pete.
Okay, so let's talk about the Club World Cup and the prize money.
Mm.
Now, it depends on where you look for your sources there, but the source that I looked at there says that a prize pot of £775 million will be split between 32 teams. Now, for our viewers listening in there, I haven't done the calculation completely there, but times by 25.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it's quite a sizable pot
Amount.
that will be shared between 32 teams. And just looking at that from a CAF Africa perspective,
Mm-hmm.
just for participating, £7.4 million per team,
Mm-hmm.
just for participating. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the further you go, obviously the prize money goes up. So one thing I do know at this stage is the tournament winners earn up to £97 million, which transferred into rands is 2,425 million
Mm-hmm.
rands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the clubs actually take a home a set figure for each round. So
Mm-hmm.
presumably now, that 7.4 that I mentioned earlier It's for the first round participation sort of thing. So they progress. Let's say Mamelodi Sundowns progress, then obviously the further they progress, because after this is a round of 16, I believe. Yeah, because it's eight leagues now, and obviously the top two will go through, and those top two will obviously be drawn against each other, and work their way down until the final. So yeah. So far, so good for Mamelodi Sundowns. They won the other night against Ulsan HD, which is a South Korean team, and that was in the early hours of Wednesday morning. So for me, I watched that on catch up. I don't know about any of the other viewers whether they have the energy to stand up in the middle of the night there. But I watched the extended highlights of that, and I thought actually Sundowns actually played really well. So Reyna's obviously scoring in the first half, very nice goal there, and you know there was 2 goals disallowed there, hey?
Yes,
so,
yes, for Reyna, from Reyna.
So what you gotta really think about there is that was actually a really good performance. Now what are they gonna do now? So they're now top. No, then are they top or second?
No,
In Group F.
they're on top.
They're top, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mamelodi Sundowns are on top.
Yeah, that's right. Because Dortmund and I think is it Fluminense? They played and they drew. So I think, like we discussed, possibility if Sundowns can get 1 draw today, then they should go through to the round of 16.
They need a draw.
So yes, and that game's today for the viewers at 6 o'clock this afternoon or this evening, whichever you prefer. And we'll be watching with Betty Brett. That one I'll be watching because obviously it's at a more palatable hour for my sleep patterns. Okay, so what do we know about, or what do we expect from Mamelodi Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund? Well,
yeah, what are we expecting there?
Well, if you listen to the pundits, they reckon that Sundowns will be disciplined in midfield and defence and will hope to press high in transition to rapidly and play on the counter. Dortmund, on the other hand, will dominate the play and will stretch Sundowns very wide, considering the offensive players that they have at their disposal. So the pace and creativity of Dortmund's disposal may be too much for Sundowns. This is what they're saying at the moment, Who will not be pushover. So Sundowns will not be a pushover, however, in this game. So the pundits that I was reading about here says that they predict a score line of 3-1 for Dortmund. I'm not sure what our viewers think, but if you look at the lineups, Sundowns are likely to play a 4-2-3-1 lineup. Unavailable for the squad is Yanda Nyingana. And obviously then Dortmund play a 3-4-2-1. So that's a different lineup there. I could tell you who's not available and who's playing for these, but I'm not sure if our viewers would actually know these team players. Yeah, so that's the predictions. I think Sundowns could force a draw here if they keep it tight at the back. And
you know,
I'm not sure what.
From my side, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's me. Themba Zwane, as much as people wanted Themba in, and he introduced Themba. Themba was already orchestrating the game. And then later on, when he was substituted, then you could see. For me, I don't know whether Cardoso has a belief in Themba. That's one. Secondly, Reyna's, yes, is on form. I would prefer that he plays both Reyna's and the boy from Namibia, Shaulile. Because what I like about Shaulile, he puts pressure. Themba should definitely be there. Because look, for Cardoso, he needs only 2 results. It's either he wins as a first prize, he wins, so that outright he qualifies, or he draws. Either of the 2 results are good. He shouldn't lose at all.
Yeah.
Did you understand?
Well, that's what we don't need. That's not what we don't want Sundowns to lose. That's for sure.
So
it'll be an interesting game.
My worry is, what strategy is he going to apply? Is he going to be defensive, thinking about the draw? Or is he going to say, I'm going to just attack all the way? I've just given you my preference. And I can see he likes Salis. Salis is always there. Okay. Salis and Matthews. Now, my next question is, Matthews better than Zwane? Yes, I know Matthews is quick, but I would prefer that let it be Shaulile up front together with Reyners, and then put Themba Zwane in the middle. All right, Themba Zwane.
If you look at the lineup, though, he's going to play one up front. His lineup is 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
So he's packing midfield. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, I don't know whether that strategy will work. You see,
we don't.
Yeah.
Only time will tell with that one.
Yeah, I really don't know whether that strategy will work. But you know what? As I said at some point that I was asking one chap who said to me, you know what? A coach must be arrogant. And then if he's arrogant, you expect that he will play his mind. All right. But the most important thing, he should win at all costs.
Yeah.
So now, if we say let him be arrogant, like what we are seeing now, I feel that he is that arrogant, and then being arrogant as we see. So will that work for him? But I'm sure he's a coach. He understands that it's either he wins or he loses. Whether he wins or loses, only the one result will save him if you go to the next round and the other round. Maybe you'll keep it. But winning the tournament is a little bit difficult, winning the tournament is a little bit difficult, But the other thing that I want us to look, what do you think about the European super giants, your Madrid? Whoever thought that Madrid will play 1-1 with Al Hilal?
Well, there's a couple of shock results, Saubrey. I'd like to review them for the people out there. Maybe they don't know. We can just have a quick look, see what they were. So, the shocks. From last night, Chelsea lose to Flamengo. I'm not sure if that would be considered to be a shock, but from an English point of view, I think it is. Flamengo being a Brazilian side. And then also PSG. I mean, we're talking, one of the best sides in Europe at the moment now. Lose to Botafogo, also the Brazilian Portuguese side. And then the one that you are probably get more interested in at the moment there, Inter Miami beat Porto, and our friend Messi scores. I think it was in the 54th minute or something like that. And then last but not least, the one that you just mentioned, Real Madrid draws with Al Hilal, who's a Saudi, who's a Saudi team. So big shocks there.
Yeah. Look, PSG lost. Porto lost. Madrid played drew. I think the people who are doing well is your team, Man City.
Hey, well, now you mentioned that now. So I don't know if you watched that game, but they weren't really that convincing, to be honest with you, for the first game. But if you look at the team squad that he put on there, it wouldn't be the one that you would play in the Premiership, I would think. But Pep has said that he's going to give playtime to all the squad there that are present. So I think that was probably what happened.
That win has come again.
does, yes.
Yeah, it has come again.
But it
And
comes
then,
and goes.
yeah, and then I start to struggle to hear you now.
The, the
Yes,
wind comes. The wind comes like your internet signal. Comes and goes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so and I saw at some point he was sitting with his daughter on the bench, Pep Guardiola. It looks like the daughter loves football. Now let's talk about Inter Miami. Did you watch that game? I watched the game.
I did not watch that game at this stage, but
I
I intend
watched
to watch catch up.
I watched the game, and then it was very exciting. Um, you know, and I don't know whether you have picked up, many people are complaining, especially the former soccer legends. They are complaining that David Beckham should make sure that he gets quality players. They're saying, why do you allow Messi to play with players whom we don't think that at his standard? They said, it's a waste of the talent. And then I remember Brazilian Ronaldo, Nazario says, why do you allow Messi to play? And then the next thing, you pair him with boys who can't even trap the ball, boys who can't even pass.
Yeah.
It's left to Messi to do the rest. And when I watch the game, Busquets, he's one player. He will show you some glimpse of brilliancy, and he'll do some silly mistake, like trying to dribble, then they take the ball, like passing the ball backwards. And I've seen those signs. I think Busquets has reached the stage of he has to hang up his boots. That's me. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
Suarez is old, but Suarez is still effective. Still effective.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Suarez? Very few players who can hit the ball same time from the air. I know Suarez, I know Messi. Not many players can do that. Suarez, when it comes to that, is lethal. Very lethal. Well, I can see sometimes that, it's difficult for him to run. But you know what? He gives Messi an assurance that there is somebody to rely on. Because sometimes I see Messi doing a very good pass, and then no one goes up front there and finish up. Do you understand? And the players don't read him. Fortunately enough, they are playing the next game, and Jordi Alba looks now is fit, because Jordi Alba reads him very well. If you remember quite well, the other question that I always ask myself, because they are busy taking the pensioners, why they don't talk to Dani Alves?
Yeah, no, true.
Why they don't talk to, because Daniel Alves, I think, remember his rape case has been thrown out of court, and I'm sure he wants to make some money for himself. So why don't they bring him in and say, Daniel Alves, come in and let's see what can you do. For me,
It's a good point.
if Messi can have Daniel Alves on the right, Jordi Alba on the left, or well, keep Busquets, and then, but to me, he looks old now, Busquets. I don't know. But he still has those brilliant passes of taking it from the middle up front, But he can also cost you games. But, well, maybe you should allow him, because remember, even at Barcelona, it was the case, but they continue to win with him. He will cost them, but they will continue to win with him. So maybe, yeah.
So do you see Inter Miami making the last 16?
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
I think it'd be interesting.
I'll tell you why. The motivation is high. The motivation is high.
Home soil as well, basically. Yeah.
The
It's an American stuff.
motivation has skyrocketed. Winning that game against Porto has made them believe that, with Messi,
Bring anybody.
anything is possible.
Yeah.
And in that game, I saw Mascherano was he was not settled, but after the game, you could see how relaxed he was. That, you know what, I've got an insurance. As long as Messi's there, I'm covered with the insurance. And that goal he scored, it's a brilliant. When I saw it, brilliant goal. But they knew it that you foul him there. Two things. It's either he's gonna bury it, or I'm looking at the time, he really wanted to win. It was quite clear that he was going to bury it. Somebody said, free kicks in those areas, they're like penalty for Messi. And of course, they're like penalty for him. And then the guy is good. The guy is good. And who's that? Somebody was saying, why is he still playing there? Gattuso said, why is he still playing there? He should come back to Europe. He should play for Man City, Man United, big teams, Barcelona. He said he should play with your Lamine Yamal, not all these boys that are playing there, because I don't know whether the stage is too much for them. It came too soon, too quick, and then now it's difficult to handle it, And then the Utari, the goalkeeper, I think is doing well. Remember, he also stopped the penalty. That is why he became man of the match. Because man of the match there was simply going to be Messi had he not stopped that penalty. But the last game of Porto, it was Messi, of course. And him taking man of the match is like, it's a usual thing. It's a usual thing, it doesn't.
But I see the supporters choose the man of the match or superior player or whatever they call it now in the States. I like that idea. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It's a brilliant one. Look, I always say, how do you compare? I mean, if somebody wins man of the match, we have beaten about 21 guys. All right? Now, this goes to, somebody was saying, oh, Ronaldo is obsessed with goals, but what do they bring? Ronaldo has never even gone to the quarterfinal of the World Cup, okay? Has never won international MVP, like MVP for the national squad. Do you understand? All those major things.
Sure.
Messi, even if he doesn't score, or even he has scored less, but his scoring brings trophies, man. That's another thing, Yeah. Well, Pete,
I want to bring one more thing to that's sprung in my head now. What you've seen there's been a number of sending offs.
Yeah.
What do we think about the standard of refereeing that we've seen thus far, and VAR bringing that into play, and some of the decisions that that are being made now with regards to potential sending offs as well, dangerous play. I was watching a game the other day. Who was playing? I can't remember now exactly. But there was a red card shown. I think it was Anthony Taylor, the English referee, and he showed him a straight red. And then VAR reviewed it, and he said, right, because the foot was low and it wasn't considered to be dangerous play, he reverses his decision, he's yellow card, and the guy stays on the pitch there. And I make the comparison of that decision with the one where Rico Lewis was sent off for Man City there. I didn't think that was a red card there. I don't know if you saw that game, Saubrey. So just a general sort of your feeling on the standard of refereeing, the VAR that we've seen thus far, and some of the decisions that we've been made there. Do you think they're consistent?
Look, to be honest with you, I'm quite content with VAR. You know why? For me, I thought, referees, if there is Messi, they would try to be biased. That's one of the things that I was worried about. Remember, even some of the referees, they want his signature, his biography, his autograph. But I see them sometimes Messi falls and then he complains, they just ignore. So for me, I think they are, you know what, remember you won't please everybody.
No, sure.
Yeah, you won't please everybody. Because to be honest, I wanted to see how are they behave. Because remember, FIFA wants to see Messi doing well.
Sure.
Because
we all want to see him do.
Messi carries this tournament. If you watch very closely, he carries this tournament, and I'm sure FIFA, they want him to be there at all times. So that is why I say, you know what? For me, I think they've done well so far. Because remember,
I must say one thing.
Mm.
I must say one thing though, and I saw the same in the last Club World Cup. The decision making is quick. It's not like the English Premier League, you know, where they go on for hours and well, it seems to be hours. I've even seen it in the PSL where they take forever to make the decision. At least the decision's right or wrong, depending on your point of view. You know, at least they come relatively quickly. So I think that's an advantage. Maybe just keep your eyes out for that one for the next couple of games. You'll see.
But for me, to be honest, Pete, they've done well. That's my opinion.
I think they made a mistake with Rico Lewis. That's what I'm saying. But that's me being a Man City fan, you know.
I didn't watch that one. What happened?
Yeah, he went in with a tackle and he took the play. I mean, it was a foul. There's no doubt about that. It's just whether it was considered to be a red card or not. But well, you can watch maybe if you watch the catch up, they might show the sending off, but in some instances they don't. That I have noticed. But yeah, it seemed a bit harsh for me that decision. But again, like I said, maybe I've got blue eyes, as they say, you know. Maybe that's my team, and I saw it only one way. Yeah.
Maybe
the viewers can give us a view on that.
Is it not the question of like you said, you have put it nicely. You've got a blue eyes, you know.
Yes.
As you look at it, you look at it from the blue side of it to say, you know, yeah. But for me, I think they are doing well. That's me. I may be wrong.
Good.
I may be wrong.
Let's hear what the viewers say.
Yeah. For me, they are doing well. Look, it's really difficult to be a ref.
Oh yes, not for me.
especially when you have a figure like Lionel Messi. You are they don't want you to do anything against him. All right. And remember, you are in that situation. You are going to ref a game, and you know that FIFA, they are, you know, they are hoping that Messi continues to carry this tournament. I think they've realized that without Messi, the numbers will dwindle more.
Sure.
I don't know whether you agree with me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Pete.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you are still giving us in terms of numbers, what's happening, and so on. Lead us there.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we were talking about refereeing and yellow cards and red cards and what. Just a little bit of information for the viewers on how many games do players miss for a yellow card at the World Cup. So it says here, if a player or member of the coaching staff picks up a yellow card in 2 separate games, they will be suspended for 1 game. However, after the quarterfinals, any yellow cards will be wiped off the record, meaning the only way one can be suspended for the final is to get sent off in the semi-finals. So FIFA have confirmed that no player or official will carry a yellow card into the 2025 World Cup.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How many games do you miss for a red card? If a player or a member of the coaching staff picks up a red card,
No,
either directly from
if it's a straight red card in normal games, I think it's 2.
they will be suspended for 1 game.
Oh yeah,
It says here either directly or from 2 yellows, they will be suspended for 1 game.
They'll be suspended for 1 game.
However, the FIFA disciplinary committee has the power
there you are. There you are. You have disappeared again. You have disappeared again. I think I hear the wind more than you.
It says though as a wind.
No, the wind again. Oh no, that's fine. I'll wait for you while you're still checking the wind to make things easy.
So it's a suspension for 1 game for a red card, whether it's as a result of 2 yellows or a straight red. However, the FIFA disciplinary committee has the power to ban them for more than 1 game if it believes the offence is serious enough. And then we know that VAR is being used. So yeah, that's it basically. Yeah. Just for the viewers so that they know. So the only way that a player is going to miss the final, whoever the teams will be that are playing in that final, is if they get sent off in the semi-final.
Okay. Pete, before I move on, I just wanted to give you the numbers of Lionel Messi as my Messi special all the time. For Inter Miami only, this is what this guy has done. Just brilliant. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
There we go. You can see it. Yeah.
Now, for Inter Miami only, he has played 61 games and then 50 goals. All right, in the past 2 years. I know if I look at PSL, the winner of the top goal scorer is 12 or 13 or 15, hardly 20. This guy has scored 50 goals in 2 seasons. And then assist, he has done 23. And then free kicks, he has scored 5. And then penalties, 2, hat-trick, 1, and then trophies, 2, and then Ballon d'Or, 1, FIFA the best, 1. So these are the numbers for Lionel Messi. Now, one fails to understand if people still doubt whether he's a GOAT or not. Because that.
And additionally, if you put that into perspective of what we were talking about earlier, that David Beckham must put more greater players around him. That's if you take that as a given that he's playing in a, if you like, a weaker squad, then those numbers are quite impressive.
Impressive. I'm talking about our own PSL. Hey, 15 goals is tough. 15 goals is real tough. And this is Lionel Messi's career. At the age of 16 to 26, he collected about 22 trophies. All right, during that time, 4 Ballon d'Ors and 3 Golden Boots. The age 26 and 37, 24 titles, trophies, 4 Ballon d'Ors and 3 Golden Boots. I don't know. Anything that you want to say?
Yeah.
It's like an orchestra, Everything, there is a rhythm there. It aligns and so on. I don't know whether you have seen the emotion that he elicits to people. I saw a guy, he's a fan, but this one I've seen it many times. I've seen a journalist interviewing him. After the interview, the journalist broke. The journalist was crying. Messi had to now start to help him to stop crying. And I saw another one now in America. Immediately after Messi, I think he has done autograph in one of his shirts. The man, an old man, cried like nobody's business. So that's the emotion. And those emotions, I last saw them with Madiba. So humility. Yeah, he's very humble. We can say it again, humility. Yeah, so those are some of the things. Guys, don't forget Mamelodi Sundowns is playing tonight at 6. And all of us, let's just do up to our television. Let's support Mamelodi Sundowns all the way. And then hopefully they'll go to the next round. And this is big, guys. This is very, very big. Jomo Sono put it very well and saying, there's no one who's going to compete with Mamelodi Sundowns now. They don't show only that they're the leading team in South Africa. They're the leading team in South Africa and Africa now, as we speak. And I like the way Dr. Patrice Motsepe has put it, that all the money I'm going to buy players. And this is it. You know, Pete, one of the things that I would ask myself, why your money and all these players, they go to England first? They should come here first. And then move from here to England and other parts of the world. Do you understand? But
Yeah, sure.
no, man, it doesn't have. I mean, even them, for them, remember, you move from Nigeria, you'll tell me better because you travel a lot. I'm told it's difficult from Nigeria to England in terms of the flights. All right, with us it's a nightmare. With us it's a nightmare. Just going to parts here,
Lagos.
you have to change many times. Do you understand? So, and for them to come to South Africa, it's easy. I don't know. I don't know. That's how I see it. It should be like that, because if they were coming here, this league was going to be too big, and as African league, and this league would have an impact on the Namibian league, the Lesotho league, Zimbabwe league, and so on.
Yeah.
You see the Africa rising. You understand? But
sure.
Yeah, and it's up to our leaders. It's up to our soccer leaders to say, what do they do? Do they really take this football serious? I think Motsepe is taking it serious. And I'm not saying.
Yeah, what worries me, it's a bit worrisome though that the Sundowns are going to be so dominant. You know, we need at least 2, 3, 4 players up there, 4 teams that are going to compete. Otherwise, you won't attract those kind of players that we're talking about now, unless it's competitively.
But if they still
sure, you win the trophies, but you've got to beat the best, you know, for it to mean something.
But if you still hear this news, your Saleng are fighting pirates.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it doesn't,
no,
ooze confidence. You know, the players. I listened to one former player, just as that. He played for Sundowns and Chiefs. He said, "Yes, Sundowns will end, but playing for Chiefs is a different ball game altogether." He says it changes you. He says, as soon as you enter from the tunnel, you know, those people, that magnitude of people making noise, it makes you feel that this thing is special. Can you imagine if it was Chiefs trying to retain all these players, including Orlando Pirates? What could have done to our football?
I want to just finish on one note there. On that very same note, I remember some years ago with the Vodacom Challenge, when Man City came out, they just signed Carlos Tevez.
Yeah.
And they came to Pretoria, the rugby's Blue Bull Stadium. Loftus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Chiefs beat Man City 1-0 that day. And there was maybe a handful of Man City fans. You know, we were obviously part of them.
Yes.
But the whole stand opposite.
Yes.
The whole stand opposite with all the fans and what have you, and they were chanting with their vuvuzelas and what have you. It was intimidating, but lekker at the same time.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So just
the atmosphere was magnet. Yeah.
Was complimenting Chiefs for that, man, to say, you know what? Yeah. He said, I think it's Brian Baloy who said, you don't know what you are missing. Just play for Chiefs. Then you'll hear. But you see, the mishmash is now, when we are told that Chiefs is paying, there are players who said they've earned more at Chiefs more than Sundowns. I'm not sure about that, but we hear from them. Pirates, we hear other stories that makes you laugh sometimes. And the players, I think they need to reflect and say, yeah, we need to make our football the football. And you know
Yes.
what? I know people in Zimbabwe, in Botswana, in Zambia who are supporting Chiefs and Pirates to
Wow.
show that the potential is there. I mean,
Sure.
Samuel Eto'o said, my
Yeah.
hero is Dr. Kumalo. I used to watch him.
Wow.
You see, can you imagine
Yeah.
that impact in Cameroon? So yeah, you know what? I think those are little things that we need to look at and tighten them up. Pete, that's another story for another
Yes.
day.
It is. It is.
Yeah, but thank you so much. I really appreciate for your time,
Thanks, Aubrey.
and I hope.
Thanks, viewers. Hope you
Yeah,
enjoyed the show.
yeah.
Let's hear the comments.
Yeah, let's hear
Yeah.
the comments and then let them suggest what
Yeah.
should we do.
Improvements.
Yeah, guys,
Or what they'd like to discuss.
You'll pardon us. There's been a whole lot of internet problem. I don't know.
And wind.
Yeah. I hope things will come right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.